Look who's joined us now, someone you've seen on Golf Talk Canada a couple of times already this season, RBC Canadian Open Tournament Director Ryan Paul. Ryan, you must be excited that tournament week is finally here.
Finally here, and day two. It was such a great day yesterday with the Golf Canada Foundation Pro. I'm excited to hear how it went for you guys. You guys got to test the golf course out for the first time.
Full experience, right? And when I just asked Ryan off the air before we came back on, the goal is to not put a cut on this rough, which is rare on the PGA Tour that they let it. And that rough kicked our butt yesterday. But you know what my favorite part, before we get into this today, my favorite part yesterday. So we all pull in. We're very early in the day because, we're ahead of the Pro-Am. I'm hosting, you're doing the show. So there's a lot of moving parts. And Ryan goes to the cart barn to get carts released for us. And there was instructions at the top of the day. Do not allow carts out of this barn until this time to this da-da-da-da. They wouldn't give him a golf cart yesterday. No, we're following instructions.
No
one is above the policy.
No one is above the policy. No, the guy you're calling to get this overturned is this guy.
You'll be the one picking up the phone. And you also gave us a ride out here yesterday morning.
Thank you, Ryan.
Which was amazing. But, we've seen – Mark and I have seen this golf course now. For those who haven't played this golf course yet this week, a lot of our viewing audience and listenership haven't, obviously. What kind of test will the pros be facing this week?
Yeah, it's a big ballpark, as you would have seen yesterday as well. It's long. Playing probably one of the longest at a par 70 that we've had. And some of those converted par 5s to 4s on 13 and 17 will really give it that length. So for the pros, it's going to be a challenge. And we talked about the rough, and as that continues to grow and grow, and I think what people don't talk about as much here is the wind. And when it gets howling, and it looks like it will this week too, it's going to be hard to hold those fairways, and but you're going to have to win.
I love that prevailing wind out of the north too. I hope that stays, because you get holes like 11 and 13 that kick your butt. But then if it stays out of the north, when we get to that finish on Sunday, you're going to have way more guys taking shots at that green, downwind. I love the shaved bank in the front. I mean, it's a perfect theater. I think it's so well done. Since we're talking setup, Ryan, I'm so curious because, in previous years, if we've been at, Glen Abbey forever and a day, or we've had multiple runs around Hamilton in recent years, from a setup standpoint, there's data. There's stuff to lean on. This is the first time we're here for the RBC Canadian Open. So do you go a lot on what happened last year on PGA Tour Americas at the Tour Chamber? Like, do you use those numbers, that data? How much of it is just a gut feel thing with, hey, how do we set this thing up?
Yeah, from course setup and what the PGA Tour does. I know they did send a lot of their staff to the Fortinet Cup Championship last year just to see how players were going to play and take on different holes from the lengths that we have now and with those renovations. And then we walked the course later that fall and made a few tweaks just to like how spectators would move and transitions from holes for players and stuff like that. But no, it was great to see have that kind of opening test there with the Fortinet Cup Championship. And then from our side with the setup and movement of fans and that, for me, it's fun. It's a blank canvas, right? It's like, this isn't the blueprint of how we run a tournament at TPC Toronto. Right. It's our first chance. So we went through all the scenarios of where do we want buses to come in and spectators to move and where we put our fan village and how's the rink going to set up and that. So it's a lot of fun and kind of goes back to my previous job as tournament director for the CPKC Women's Open, where we opened a golf course for the first time in 3 occasions at Wascana, Magna, and Earl Grey last year.
Well, just before we move on, Adam and I, right off the top, said this is our favorite rink hole that we've ever had, hands down. Not even close. So
yeah, 100%. And to have a shorter rink hole, to have more chances at, aces at shots dancing around the hole. I'm sure you guys must be super excited about it.
Yeah, it was a beast last year of a hole. Like, it was like 230. It was the back line. And looking at some of our the old videos that I take if Rory's coming up or Corey Connors and that, and they walk up to the rink and everyone's banging on the boards and going nuts and loud, and then they hit their shot and they've got a birdie chance. They've hit the green, but it's like a 30-foot, and then the crowd just like, and they don't realize how like great of a shot that is from that distance, but they want to see the birdies. So we're going to have that opportunity this year for sure.
Well, I even remember when we were at St. George's, when we were at Oakdale, even though maybe the yardage was kind of in line, for lack of a better term, those are kind of uphill par threes from a spectator perception. If you're at the tee, you can't see the ball land. If you're at the green, you're okay, but you're kind of removed a little from the tee down below you. This is kind of almost ideal. I mean, from the tee deck, you can see the golf ball land on the green. The green's surrounded by grandstands. This feels so close to like a Coliseum hole to me in terms of there's not a bad seat in the house at the rink this week.
No. There's just not enough. We're going to build more next year. So
That's it.
Oh, we're already looking at what that looks like for 2026.
Actually,
but
so
no, it's great, and I think just to have that kind of hole, the rink hole has played over par in its existence from 2017 to 2024.
We flipped
so
that this week with
we're
it.
going to flip that. This is going to be the exciting hole where players are going to attack some birdies.
Just piggyback on that. We need more seats. We need more of this. Expecting the momentum to continue because you guys have done an incredible job. I mean, the fan reaction, the crowds. I mean, it's just been so good. Such a Canadian rah-rah moment the last several. And this is even before Nick. You know, this goes back to really Rory winning his.
19 and 22,
where you really felt that groundswell of energy and pride and whatnot. So, keeping it this week, are we in a good spot?
Yeah, it's going to be great. And I think it was that 2019 year where I don't know, the date change and Rory coming and the start of the concerts and all that, and it really just became this sports and entertainment property and just the true passion for Canadian golf. So we've continued to have that momentum. We're going to have crowds that are the same size as what we had in Hamilton last year. We might even break those attendance records if things continue to go well for us. And really, we've had that momentum coming in, but when Rory won the Masters, we really saw that spike in interest in ticket sales.
Now, those of us who live in the GTA have seen the temperatures that we've had in the GTA over the last 10 days to 2 weeks, and it's felt like October some days. Now, it seems like the weather's turned here a little bit in terms of temperature. How did the cold temperatures impact the preparation for the golf course, if at all?
Yeah, I don't think it impacted it too much. Just we were been bundled up a little bit more as we were going around and wishing we had that summer temperature. But no, the superintendent Dave Hunter and his team have done an incredible job of getting the golf course to the point that they and the PGA Tour wanted it to get to. So I think at this point and where we're at, we're ready for Thursday and excited.
Which is amazing. Now, we mentioned Rory McIlroy, and the last time Rory McIlroy played an RBC Canadian Open, he hadn't completed the career Grand Slam yet. Now he has. He's an honorary Canadian pretty much here in Canada. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting to see from Rory this week?
It's going to be electric. I can't even describe what it's going to be of just everyone following him now as the career Grand Slam holder. And I think last time we were on, I told you that the last time that we had a player complete the Grand Slam and then compete in the RBC Canadian Open was 2000 and Tiger Woods. So we all know how that ended. And if we can repeat that, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, he definitely moves the needle, right? I know we talk about it all the time, and people say it, and quite often they're talking about it in TV numbers. That that's how we kind of translate it from a big picture because we're not at every tournament, we're not directly involved with every tournament, but. We're actually feeling it on the ground this week. And I think to your point, I think we're going to feel it throughout the week and with the size of the galleries and whatnot. That being said, though, huge Canadian field, guys. We got great Canadians play well. This golf course screams Taylor Penrith to me, Ryan, especially if the wind blows. You got drive well. He can hit it down. I think Taylor has a good week. Who you got your eye on this week other than the obvious?
Well, I think Taylor actually has a hole-in-one on this
true.
hole, right?
That's right. That's right.
We'll see if we can replicate that in the competition. We actually haven't had a hole-in-one at the rink since its existence. So we got some fun things planned that if that's to happen this year.
What's the concert series again this year? Before I don't want to skip that.
Friday and Saturday night we have Billy Talent and then Sam Roberts Band, an all-Canadian lineup.
So there we go. Well, super excited for that, man. We're so excited. The week is finally here. It's our favorite week of the year. It's our busiest week of the year, and it's the best week of the year. Ryan, as always, thanks for your time today.
Well, thanks for having me on. We'll see you this week.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Really enjoyed it, man.